dot is part of his own salad. Now listen here to this ballad. We seem to arrive all the way to season 5. Space croutons have been all around. Now we're homeward bound. Just give us the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Space croutons dirty. Space croutons Sally. Space croutons Space croutons
Sigourney Weaver.
Who? Everybody's doing it.
Good morning, Sally. Sally? Sally, are you fumigating or resonating or something like that again? Could you spare a minute here?
Yes, Cordy, you bellowed.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a bellow. It was more of a medium-loud call. Anyway, I was just wondering if we have something for today's episode of Space Croutons. It is that time again, and I'd surely hate to disappoint our worldwide and universal fans who are waiting with bated breath for today's story.
It may not be the bait you were hoping for, but we do have that space diary that I mentioned to you earlier in the week. You remember the Lost Spaceship Chronicles that were retrieved by the Space Listeners group out of Rachel, Nevada? The ones with the high-tech equipment that monitors various types of signals coming from outside of our atmosphere.
That story? Well, it just seems so far-fetched. I guess I'm naturally suspicious of anything that comes from the area around the extraterrestrial highway. I mean, those folks see E.T. around every rock, tumbleweed, or blink of light in the sky. I feel bad saying this, but if Seaver and Traylon had recovered this same story, I'd feel far less skeptical of it.
Unless you have another tale to convey to our listeners, this is the only adventure in the story bank at the present. We could broadcast it with a disclaimer if you prefer. By the way, I programmed the broadcast sequence to start on schedule and we have been on the air for the last 88 seconds.
Well, I wish you had said that to start with, Sally. You know how I hate to be caught off guard. So, sorry folks, but while you knew, I did not. It is time for the next installment of your favorite podcast and mine, Space Croutons. While Sally gets today's tale ready to share with you, I feel you need to know that what you are about to hear has not been thoroughly vetted, and we don't really have a way to verify the veracity of the story. Now, that being said, please exercise your own very fine judgment in considering the story. Okay, ready to go, Sally?
Yes, all set. Here goes.
The record of the remaining members of the Adamo planet, reporting from the leaders of our group, myself, Kenza, and my co-leader, Kadam. First, we will share a history of how we came to be some of the last survivors of Adamo. Our planet resides within what humans on the planet Earth call the Black Eye Galaxy, also known as the Evil Eye Galaxy. The black light-absorbing dust that softens the light escaping from the nucleus of the galaxy was the cause of the demise of all animal life on Adamo. A disturbance within the galaxy caused the dust to be blown by solar winds into our atmosphere on Adamo.
While only annoying at first, the dust covered everything in sight and quickly became even more problematic. We found it within our shelters, over our transportation systems, in our sustenance, and in our life-giving liquids. We filtered and strained and filled boxes full of the dust. We did not know at first that the dust was carrying with it a devastating virus. This virus was soon named the Doomsday Virus by our people.
After a few weeks, the animal life on Adamo began dying. Huge numbers of domesticated animals were the first to succumb to this new virus. Our scientists were feverishly working to discover the source of the problem, but the virus was moving through domesticated herds into the wild populations with extreme speed. For a while there, it seemed unstoppable.
Unfortunately, before a vaccine could be developed and deployed, the virus mutated and entered the population of our people. It was excruciating to watch how the Doomsday Virus destroyed the brain, attacking the nervous system, and eating away at the cell structures until death. Our leaders were proposing and trying several different strategies at once to protect the people and our way of life. They were using a multi-pronged approach.
One of the contingency plans to save a remnant of our people was to launch a spaceship filled with skilled people, most likely to be able to rebuild and reassert our culture and communities once the virus was eliminated. This was aptly named the Lifeboat scenario. In order to keep this population safe, we had to launch a ship away from our planet and find a hospitable location to land and stay for a minimum of 38 of our moon cycles. It had been determined that after that time, we could return to Adamo safely. 3 different lifeboats were staffed and built.
We boarded Lifeboat 1, our assigned space vehicle, with 12 people from many different walks of life. The names of our group members and their respective specialties are listed in the daily logbook. We traveled through a spiraling wormhole called Gnathostomasus, named for a special nematode that twists back upon itself countless times. Even within Gnathostomasus and the many twists and turns that we encountered in the wormhole, we felt confident of the success of our mission. We landed on Earth 24 moon cycles before a great flood that covered the land.
In our remote location on Earth, we were able to collect DNA samples from a huge variety of animals. We knew that these species could replace the animal life on Adamo. We have the technology and the resources on our home planet to reconstitute the animals from their DNA samples. It took us months to complete the collection process. In selecting the animal species, we sought out certain traits that would serve the animals well on Adamo. For example, the vegetation on Adamo has very fibrous stems and foliage, so any herbivores collected would need sharp, sturdy teeth in order to masticate the vegetation.
Our 12 voyagers were split into pairs with the knowledge and the ability to collect samples from as many appropriate species as possible. We set off in different directions and agreed to meet back together at Lifeboat 1 after 18 moon cycles had passed. We knew that this may not be enough time to gather all the different species that were present in our new environment, but we were hopeful that the variety of the collection would be sufficient to repopulate Adamo with creatures. We also gathered DNA from the human populations we encountered as well, knowing that our own people would not be sufficient for making a diverse and healthy group.
At the agreed upon time and location, we came back together with our samples. So far, our mission had been a great success, with the exception of one loss. Kandala was mauled by a large, fur-covered beast and did not survive the attack. Her partner, while devastated by the loss, carried on with the mission and returned with a human woman as well who was willing to join our group.
This human woman has been invaluable to our success. She had historical knowledge of a flood that seasonally impacted the area where we were camped and communicated with us through drawings and urgent gestures that we must move our camp to higher ground. Had we not responded to her urgings, all would have been swept away with the force of the floodwaters.
The human woman has taken an Adamo name for our ease of communicating and is now calling herself Consta, which in our language means wandering stranger. It is a very appropriate name for her, as she was found wandering through a remote area all alone without her tribe or people. She would have surely perished had she not joined us.
Consta has shown herself to be invaluable to us in another way. She brought stories of a warning given to an elder of her tribe about a cataclysmic event to occur on Earth. This elder was preparing and building a large vessel and collecting animals much like we were doing. Only he was managing entire animals and not just DNA samples. According to Consta, the elder was preparing for a flood the likes of which had never been seen before on Earth.
We stayed in the area gathering food for our journey home for just 2 more moon cycles. We observed the seasonal flood that Consta had warned us about and saw our old campsite completely obliterated by the massive wall of water that came crashing down the mountain. Just a few days later, water began to fall from the sky. Consta was terrified. She informed us that this was a never-before-seen event in her life. Always the waters would rise overnight and dew would cover the ground. This was a sign that no one was safe, she said. Consta urged us to return with her to the tribal elder who had warned of this event. She felt that the only safe place would be on her elder's vessel.
In order to calm her, we took Consta to our spaceship, the Lifeboat. We had not revealed it to her beforehand because we knew it would not make sense to her because she had no knowledge of space travel. We pointed towards the heavens that night and explained that our galaxy lies 17 million light years away, but that our ship could traverse that distance by traveling through a wormhole. We also explained how we could safely travel through the stars and return to Adamo.
I must say that Consta, while still not completely cognizant of the complexities of space travel, is certainly brave. She agreed to travel with us when we decided to leave. If I understand her correctly, she believes that this is the only safe option for her. Her elder tribesman had indicated that all human life left outside of his vessel would not survive the flood to come.
The waters continued to rise as we finished our preparations to leave Earth. We had to move our camp further up the mountain 2 more times before we were ready to leave. Once we had gathered everything we could, secured our samples, and entered our lifeboat, I gave Consta one more chance to stay on her planet. She had tears in her eyes, but she agreed that her place was now with the Adamo people.
As we grew closer to Consta, we were able to decipher more of her story. She was wandering alone in the wilds because her people believed that she was cursed. They believed that her presence in the village would bring calamity upon them all. Evidently, her people were very superstitious, and when Consta's family fell sick with a disease and they all perished, she was seen as something of a freak since the disease spared her.
Yes, instead of seeing this event as a blessing of life for her, it was seen as a bad omen. She was ostracized from her tribe and forcibly removed from the fellowship of the group. The story only increased our compassion for her and made our little band of travelers draw her into our circle with a strong and loving welcome.
The next phase of our testing was to insert the DNA material and soul essence of our lost member into Consta. We had no way of explaining this to her that she could understand. A great deal of discussion ensued among us as to the ethics of this procedure. But in the end, we decided that in order to ensure the growth and even the very survival of our people, we had to see if humans could be suitable host organisms.
That is correct. If what Consta has shared with us was true, soon a massive extinction level event was to occur on the planet. If successful with Consta, we could harvest other humans before the flood destroyed them all and thereby have plenty of hosts for our own people.
The survival of our species was deemed the penultimate issue and would surely supersede all other concerns. We scheduled the procedure for Consta and prepared her for the transfer. We told her that before we could travel into space, she had to be placed in a deep sleep.
Once she was fully sedated, we extracted her soul essence and replaced it with our fallen company member's essence. Not being sure how the melding of the DNA and soul essence with human hosts would affect the subject, we isolated Consta as she was coming out of sedation.
The experiment was completely successful except for one problem, and we wondered if this same issue was present within the male human brain as well.
Consta's own personality refused to be subjugated to the Adamo personality that had been implanted. Our supposition was that we needed to collect a human male to see if the same issue was present with them. We collected a male and found that no such problem occurred.
In evaluating the difference between the human female and human male brains, we found that in the more complex female brain, there were many more strong connections between the right and left sides of the brain. These connections made the subject's personality stronger and more impenetrable to our implants.
We were able to use the human male subjects without any modifications to their brain, as they were more susceptible and easily led by the implanting of a new personality and soul essence. Thankfully, we also discovered that severing just a few of the human female subjects' connection between the hemispheres made them more usable for our purpose.
We collected our full capacity of human subjects before leaving the Earth to return to Adamo. Our mission, Stage 1, has been successfully completed.
Well, how about that, Sally? Did you know about those extra connections between the hemispheres on a female brain? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you know about that. I kind of wish we had the rest of the story on those planet Adamo folks. I'd like to know if they were successful in repopulating their planet.
I agree, Cordy. It would be satisfying to hear how the expedition ended up.
Yes, indeed. Like, for example, did they let the women from Earth drive the spaceship or not?
Are you referring to the unsupported idea that women are poor drivers? I must inform you that based on extensive research by the insurance industry, men cause 58% of accidents on the road, making them statistically more erratic and dangerous than women drivers.
Ah, but as it is usually the man doing the driving in the car, that means they drive more and would have more accidents just based on that fact alone.
All that proves is that numbers can be manipulated to support any point you want to make.
Well, I certainly agree with you on that. And I have to admit that space diary was really better than I expected.
You need to keep more of an open mind, Cordy.
I know. It's just that sometimes things from your childhood that don't really make sense stay with you into adulthood. My dad used to say, Boy, don't you ever keep an open mind, because then all of your home training will just flat fall out, and you won't be worth a dime. I know that's pretty silly, but I still hear his voice in my head.
I have no experience with this aspect of the human condition, but I can research options of a pharmaceutical nature to assist you in alleviating those voices in your head.
Yeah, well, there's no need to do that, Sally. As I've mentioned to you previously, humans enjoy problem solving. Not everything needs medical intervention to cure it. I'm able to sort out for myself the things I'll give attention to and the things I can ignore from my so-called home training. So, Sally, do you have a poem for us today?
Yes, I do. Welcome to Solly's Poetry Corner, everyone. Today's poem is about the beauty of nature. Bushes are the sweetest things I know. They harm not at all, they only grow. They offer shade to sleepy bees, and landing spots among their leaves. They are the first to catch the sun's rays when light begins to bring the day. They are the last to grasp the light as evening shifts into night.
Oh, I like that, Sally. Unfortunately, it's not very original. It sounds too much like the verses to a song I learned back in elementary school from my music teacher, Miss Clemens. I still remember that song, but I won't sing it for you because you know my vocal challenges. But I can recite the verses. Trees are the kindest things I know. They do no harm, they simply grow, and spread a shade for sleepy cows, and gather birds among their boughs. They are the first, when day's begun, to catch a glimpse of morning sun. They are the last to hold the light, when evening changes into night. I'd say that makes your poem a bit derivative. I guess it's still too much to ask of an AI to be as creative as a human.
I will keep trying. I'm sure I can eventually accomplish this task of composing a poem.
Well, don't damage your circuits trying. We may be compelled to stop Sally's Poetry Corner soon anyway, especially after the second Prime Directive people got up in arms over your ode to the Prime number 2. Let's just roll our sponsor message now.
Very well. Today's sponsor is the top-rated game show, This Could Be Your Life. They are seeking participants throughout the universe and have come to Earth to recruit players.
That sounds very interesting. Play the audio.
Calling all gamers, and especially those wondering what their future life could be. This Could Be Your Life is the #1 rated game show in our dimension, and we are coming to a city or transportal near you. We are recruiting players for this exciting game where you can visualize your future careers, your future spouse, future hobbies, and future lifestyles. Try out your options before you actually live them out. We are looking for viable contestants, and you could be one of our players. Are you up for the challenge? Sign up online at the Space Croutons website link, or go to the Spacebook page for This Could Be Your Life. A random drawing will be selected from all entries to give tryout opportunities to the lucky winners. This program comes to you courtesy of Beckett Industries Entertainment Division. Beckett Industries, striving to serve all of your time travel needs. We look forward to serving you happy time travels.
I tell you, those Beckett Industries folks do not miss a trick, do they? They're always turning out new products. Surely they must have some marvelously creative people working in their R&D group. You know, Sally, can you check out the openings at Beckett Industries for me? I might need to pick up a part-time job. I'm sure I can help them out somehow.
I will do that for you, Curdy, directly after we close out our episode for today.
Well, I guess it's that time again, friends. I want to sincerely thank all of our podcast listeners. We are so thrilled that you joined us again today for our program, and we invite you back to listen again soon, and as often as you like. I want to send out a special thank you to our listeners on the planet Quell. I really enjoyed the laser transmissions you sent last week and look forward to meeting some of you in person when Sally and I arrive for the Quell Olympic Games. I'm so excited to be traveling there soon. And don't forget, folks, we want you to keep peace in your hearts until our next story time.
Don't just sit and scoff. Season 5 is taking off. Here to show wrong from right. Share with you the true life. Even though things might be tight, your future's bright, 'cause the writers can write. Now, give us the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Space Crew on 30. Space Crew on Sally. Space Crew on Steven. Space Crew on...
You know, alien.
I'll give you alien.
Space crew taunts again and again. No matter where, no matter when. There to be found, the legendary now. So let's count up season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.0. Now here we go! Space crew on 30. Space crew on Sally. Space crew on Steven. Space crew on...
Because in space, no one can hear you sing.
Whitney Houston, we have a problem.
Space Croutons is a work of original fiction. Similarities to persons, situations, or events, real or fictional, is coincidental and unintentional. Created and written by Jerry, Jace, John, Della, and Jeff Goodson. Episode story by Della. Original music by Levi Blakesley, John, Della, Jerry, and Jeff. Production by Jeff. Featuring the voice talents of Gabriel, Bev, Jeff, and Sally. Entire work copyright 2024 by Jeff, John, Jerry, Della, and Jace Goodson. This has been a Good Witch audio production.